How's it going, TSL? Video 2 coming at you for TSL IV. Hope everybody's having a great week and is getting excited. This video is going to be over gear check, fighter check-in. If you look at the schedule, Thursday and Friday, we have gear check going on. There is a small little window on Saturday if some emergency were to arise that we might be able to get you in, but really by the end of Friday we need your gear checked in, we need your fighter checked in so that we can build the standard bracket. It's going to take a while to get built. Hopefully for tag team we have your gear checked on Thursday, and for exotics we have your gear checked before tag team is over. We've got to build these brackets, so we need to know that your gear is checked and who is finally fighting in these as early as possible. So yeah, make sure and get that done, taken care of. So what to expect for gear check? Gear check and fighter orientation is going to be a little bit different this year, with us having 3 days, 5 tournaments of events, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Having a mandatory fighter orientation before every bracket doesn't really make a lot of sense. When we just had 2 days and we could get everybody in there, we pretty much could get it covered. But with 3 days and 5 brackets, based on which bracket you participated and when you arrive, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So what we're doing this year is we will have a fighter check-in paper. So what this is, you're going to come in and we're going to expect you to sign your name and your charter, what bracket you're participating in. We'll then give you this packet, and you will be expected to go have a seat in a chair or whatever and read through this packet. This packet is a condensed version of the code of conduct, hold harmless agreements, and the tournament rules that pertain specifically to how you score points, fighter calibration, that sort of kind of thing. The specifics on gear are not in this document, and the specifics on sabers are not in this document, because once you bring this document back up that you've read it, you will hand the document on the back page to whoever is checking your gear. We will not have any information filled out at this point. Whoever is checking in your gear will go ahead and fill out the information on the back as is needed. They'll put your name, they'll put your charter, they'll put the brackets at your end, they'll check in your weapons, check in your gear, and then you will both sign the document at the very end once all of this is taken care of. Signing the document agrees that all of this gear that's been checked is the gear that you will use. If any alterations have been made, such as if you're open sparring and a blade breaks and you have to switch out the blades, that you agree to have that weapon rechecked. If for some reason you have an armor failure, a piece of armor falls off and you have to fix it, you will come and get that rechecked before you fight. If any of this gear is found to be missing, altered, or changed during the bout, you will forfeit. So that is important to know. So the reason we don't have gear in here and we don't have armor in here is complete copies of the rules will be available at the table, and your gear and everything will be checked by the people with those rules to make sure everything matches and is in sync. So we don't want to make this document too big for you to read, but not everybody has read through the rules thoroughly who will be participating. And some people will be new members. We get other people that we draw from HEMA across the way who will want to participate, and so they don't know. So we need you to read this. Take the time, go through it. If you're really familiar with the rules, it'll be a quick skim. It is literally just copy and pasting out of the code of conduct, hold harmless agreement, and our basic tournament rules. So all of that is listed in here so you know what to expect. So that's how gear check will go. It will take a little bit longer for each individual fighter to have their gear checked, but in the long run, as soon as your gear checked, you don't have to show up for any extra orientation. You don't have to show up at an earlier time. Once your bracket or your pool is ready, you just be there ready to fight, and it's straightforward. So we do appreciate your cooperation as best as you can. If you can check in your gear on Thursday, that would be amazing, but definitely by the end of Friday, we need everybody's gear checked. Remember, you need your gear checked before you can participate in any bracket. So pay attention to which brackets you're in and make sure you come and get your gear checked with a considerable amount of time before your bracket. Don't show up 20 minutes before your bracket and think we'll be able to get you in. We still have to, you are not officially checked in for any tournament until after you've completed fighter check-in and gear bracket. Even if you've paid for the tournament, until we have checked your gear, until this document is signed, you are not officially entered into any of our brackets. That's how we build the bracket, is based on who has their gear checked. Once we check your gear, we will add your name to the list, which we will use to build brackets and pools. I think it's pretty straightforward, and most of you have done this. This is our 4th year doing these, and this hasn't changed overly much in the grand scheme of things, so it should be really familiar to a lot of you. So also be patient with us. If everybody shows up to get their gear checked at once, you know, there's going to be a lot of people reading and signing these, and it may take a little bit longer, but be patient and just know that we're doing it to try and make it easiest on everyone involved, because a lot of us do this on a volunteer basis as well, so we want to make this as painless on the volunteers as well as on the fighters. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening, united through sabers, and we'll see you in a few weeks.